Hey guys, welcome back to my second episode of cooking with, I've come up with a name for myself now, JHH, which is my business name, but we are going to make a Cambodian curry paste. So this one is like my ultimate favorite curry. I make this for my clients all the time, and I also make it for myself. It's also super awesome because you can make it and then you can freeze it, and then when you are like behind on time, you don't have time to meal prep, you'll have this all ready to go in your freezer, which I'm going to take you through the whole process of making like the actual curry paste. So let's get into it. All right, so this is my Cambodian curry paste. All you need is a NutriBullet. If you don't have a NutriBullet, use a blender or anything that can really like ground up the actual ingredients. So first you need your coriander. What you want to do is wash this. I've already pre-washed it. It's taken away any of the dirt, and you can keep some of the stems on as well. So literally, you can just go like that into the blender. Because coriander root is really tasty to eat, I find. I don't mind if you, like when you're making this, if you keep the actual stalks on, because it doesn't really make it that bitter. Next, we are going to add lemongrass. If you can get fresh lemongrass, which sometimes you can, it's in the supermarket, go for it. Otherwise, this is good because you can keep it and store it, and you've got it all the time. So you just want to go with 3 tablespoons of lemongrass. Next, we will use lime leaves, kaffir lime leaves. So if you can't get these from Coles, which you usually can, you can get them also in a jar, and they are pre-cut for you. Otherwise, these are usually just in the fresh fruit and veg section at any supermarket. So I have just gone with 6 leaves. Now, next is chili. I would leave this up to you of how spicy you want it. I like it to be like pretty spicy. So all I'm gonna do is take off the top, and then if I was you, I would check how many seeds are in it, because that's the spicy part. Depending if you want it to be super spicy, you can just literally take the seeds out like that. I like to leave a few, that way it's still a little bit spicy. Next is your ginger. I like to go with 1 bulb. You can weigh all these ingredients if you want, but honestly, like trying to calculate this like in your calories is kind of like super hard, so I wouldn't really worry about it. 1 knob of ginger. Just cut it up a bit finer, just so it blends a bit easier. This curry is like the best ever. You guys are gonna love it. Next is galangal. I think I said it right. It is also pretty much readily available from most small grocers. If you can't get it, you usually can get it again, like in a jar, in a brine. But see how you go. It's not essential to the recipe, but it does make it better. I also just go with a knob again as well, and cut it up a little bit smaller just so it fits. Now, always clean as you go, remember that. My next ingredient is just a tiny bit of paprika, mostly for color. Paprika doesn't really go as much in a Cambodian curry, but the color is good. So just half a teaspoon. All right, next we are going to move on to the garlic. I'm just gonna go with 3 cloves. Now, the easiest way to do garlic is to grab yourself a larger knife. With the larger knife, you want to hold it like this. One finger here and the other finger on the other side. This is called a pinch grip. With the pinch grip, you can then bring the knife down onto the board on top of the garlic and crush it. This is like the easiest thing. Need to cut the fucking jets. This is the easiest way to take the skin off the garlic. So now you have it like this. You can go straight into things. So far we have nearly all of our ingredients in. Next we're gonna go with some fresh lime juice. Make sure you use a sharp knife, not a shit blunt one, because that was difficult. Squeeze in the fresh lime. Just got lime juice everywhere. All right, we are nearly done. A little bit controversial, but we are going to go with some palm sugar. If you don't feel good about using palm sugar, use some brown sugar, but it's really good in the recipe, so use that. Although I did cut up a bit. So you just want to use half of the palm sugar. That is literally about 2 grams of palm sugar. Straight into the thing. And then lastly, second last, 1 large tablespoon of turmeric powder. Next, we are going to go with 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. If you are vegetarian, obviously don't put that in. It doesn't really need it, but I like the tardiness of it. So 3 tablespoons of that. And then the very last ingredient is tamarind paste. I got it. Okay. So, 3 tablespoons of this. I like to do quite large ones. So this is literally everything. It's super easy, all into one blender. I like to put a splash of water. This just helps it blend a bit better. So a little bit of water, and then you can blend it. So you blend it for about 2 minutes or until everything has come together. Be careful not to over blend it, because then the leaves will start to get too hot. This is it. You will smell it straight away. Like, it is delicious. So we have 2 options now when we are making this. What you can do is, if you want the curry paste fresh and you are going to be like making it quite often, you've got time to, I don't know, spend time with your family making curry paste. What you're gonna do is you are going to fill up the jar. I won't show you this because I am going to cook it out, but you fill up the jar with the curry paste, lid on, and then straight into the fridge. This will last for a week or 7 to 10 days. Now, if this is like my favorite little tip ever, we are going to cook out the curry paste, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do to like save time and then get yourself ahead for the week, essentially. All right, so this is, like I said, my favorite tip. I've got a pan on. What we're going to do is we're going to cook out the curry paste. You can just go straight in. You do need to cook out curry paste. All the aromats need to activate. It can be quite bitter if you don't cook it out. So just put your pan on a relatively like warm heat. If you are trying to save calories, again, don't add oil. I haven't added any because it's a non-stick pan, it's gonna be fine. And you're just going to slowly cook it out. You'll need to do this for roughly 2 minutes or until you smell it. Once you can smell it in a really sort of strong way, you'll know that it's cooked out and it is ready to go. Then all you need to add now is your coconut cream. So give the can a good shake. If you are wanting to save calories, I will pop all this up when I do post the recipe, but if you are wanting to save the calories, just go with a light coconut cream or even a coconut milk. This cuts down your calories. So I like to go with 1 can. You can go straight into the pan, and this is where you get to see the color of the Cambodian curry. And all you need to do now is cook this out. So again, mix it all together, cook it out for 2 minutes until everything infuses. Once that is done, you are literally ready to go. It smells delicious. And I probably guarantee that like everyone in the family will love it. So we have cooked this out. It honestly took in total like 5 minutes to make the curry paste, cook it, add the cream. Now you're just going to pour this into a suitable container. Doesn't really matter what it is, just so you can pour it like nicely into the pots. So depending on if you are cooking with your family or if it's just for yourself, pick an ice cube tray that suits you. That sounds like super weird, but I will be sharing this with my housemate. I was about to say boyfriend, but don't have one. And all you need to do is just fill it up. This is how you can get the macros on it as well. You can weigh the whole mix and then divide it by like say 6, because I'm making 6 cubes. Once you have finished filling all your curry paste little pots up, you can just put it straight into the freezer. Make sure there's room cleared in the freezer, otherwise you're gonna have some difficulty. And then straight in. It's gonna take about 4 hours to set, then it's ready to go. Leave yourself just a little bit here so you can make dinner straight away. And that is the Cambodian curry paste. It is super yummy and my favorite to eat.